Hello, I'm Glenn Tobey. I'm a Spring Forest Shikang master and a psychotherapist. The topic of this talk on the theme of the art of coming home, home to the heart, the specific focus is on, well, what does it take? So a lot of times people wonder, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, I can figure this out. All of a sudden life comes along and shakes you and you're going, oh, I'm lost, where to go, what do I do? That would be normal. So this idea of having different tools, remembering you're trying to find your way back home to this incredible power within you, the stillness that is already in you, but you get attracted to the distractions. So a lot of times, one of the ways is to look at the wisdom literature, the stories from wise, folks over the many, many years. So there's a story that goes something like this. So a master came up to a student and said, I can teach you how to change stones into gold. And the student said, oh, that would be really great. It would be great to have, gold anytime I want it. And then the student began to think, well, how long does this gold last? And the master said, well, in 500 years, the gold will turn back to stone. And then the student thought, that would be a life of deception. That if I deceive people from the start, that over time my karma or whoever I am is going to travel into the future and they'll find out the gold that I made was a fraud, that I've deceived them. And so the gesture of not turning, stones into gold, having the honor of your life, are all a little bit of a wisdom tool. How can I live an honorable life? This is one of the tools for the art of coming home. Accumulating these tools, accumulating this kind of thinking. The teaching can come anywhere. So there was a teaching a long time ago, and it's in the Bible, about the shepherd going out into the wilderness to find the lost sheep, and bringing the lost sheep back into the pasture. And I really love that story of the reaching out to others that are in need. But then along came a wind, so to speak, and twisted my thinking. And it was like, it's not always true that the lost sheep is changed by the shepherd, but it is always true that the lost sheep changes the life of the shepherd. Oh, wow. So if you're a shepherd, if you're reaching out to others, one of the tools in the art of coming home is realizing the lost sheep are not someone you necessarily have to rescue, but to see what the teaching the lost sheep in the wilderness is giving to you in order to come back to your home. Maybe it's arrogance. I'm going to go out and change that sheep's life. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Maybe that's taking you away from coming home. But maybe the lost sheep says, take a look at your heart. So stories like the stones and the gold, the shepherd and the lost sheep, all powerful stories about tools for coming home. Now, so what does it take to come home? More wisdom literature, great thoughts. Actually, I have here a clump of the books I've read over the years. And maybe that what I've gotten from these kind of common, ordinary, non-wisdom, non-historical, maybe hysterical books, The Man Who Planted Trees. I got a beautiful concept from this one book. William Saroyan's The Human Comedy. There was a section in the book that just touched my heart. I heard the owl call my name. Again, a beautiful, deep, green feeling about life. Otto Leopold, The Sandkalmy Almanac, about the balance of nature. Sigurd Olson, The Listening Point. Now I could get a sore back bending over to pick up all these little books. So what does it take? When you have a focus on coming home, you can find all these wisdom sentences, a paragraph, a little story in a lot of these authors, a lot of these common everyday authors. It doesn't have to be some wise saint or some wise sage that's been around for thousands of years. Every moment when you have the focus on coming home, you pick up these sentences and you realize, yes, and it teaches you that every gesture you can follow in your heart. Thank you for listening to me.